the Bhakti Yoga. So in the beginning of the ninth chapter, just like previous chapters, the eighth chapter was beginning with the questions. But the ninth chapter, there is no question by Arjuna. But because now he introduced about bhakti in the eighth chapter, Krishna himself is very enthusiastic to speak about bhakti. He want to speak about bhakti yoga. So therefore, this chapter is also entitled as most confidential knowledge, and this word comes from Raja Vidya. So is a king of knowledge, and this is Raja Guhya, Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya, Pavitramidamuttamam. Is a king of the knowledge and very confidential knowledge. How it is confidential, we'll see that. So in the purpose, Prabhupada mentions all knowledge comes from Krishna. But we also understand in our life, knowledge in our life particularly, not that all knowledge, but in our personal life, our life begins from how we observe the things around. We start seeing the situations, we start seeing the people, we start relating with them, and then knowledge starts getting more and more in our sync. So, in one way, the knowledge, all knowledge comes from Krishna, but our knowledge, how we relate with the knowledge, is comes from our own understanding also, with how we relate with the world around. So, that is the beginning. And confidential knowledge is talks about the glory about bhakti yoga. Actually, Krishna is a uh, god of love, and he is conquered by the process of achieving the god, that is bhakti. So this chapter also will talk very elaborately on the glory of Krishna, and how Krishna is so supreme personality, and the process of achieving Krishna at bhakti, even that is even more glorious, and how by that glorious bhakti person can understand Krishna, that is been more focused in this chapter. So if you see comparatively the seventh chapter and the ninth chapter, they're almost section, if you compare, they're like almost like same only. So in the beginning, seventh chapter, it is spoken about Maya Saktamana Partha, and here again spoken about the glory as well as the qualification required to attachment to Krishna. That is, Krishna will speak about Anusuyave, that is in the first verse, and Shraddhavan, that is in the third verse. And in the between, the second verse will speak about whole the different uh, ways how the glorious is the devotional service or the bhakti yoga. So the first section talks about attachment towards the Krishna. And then second section talks about the energies about Krishna. There we saw Bhumira Panalo Vayu Khammano Buddhire Vacha. Here also we'll get to see Aham Kratur Aham Yagyam Shodham Aham Aushadham. That section also will come. Then how different people are relating with Krishna, it is spoken in the seventh chapter. And here also we'll see how the impersonalist, how the bhaktas, and how the demigod worshipper, they are relating with the Krishna. And finally, the section discusses about how devotion is very superior. Devotion to Krishna is very, very superior. So that has been spoken in the seventh chapter also and in the ninth chapter also. So just like we understand, chapter 3 gives the knowledge and understanding about uh, bhakti yoga, sorry, karma yoga. But in chapter 5, Krishna tells everything karma yoga in more detail. So similarly, in the seventh chapter, bhakti yoga is introduced, and in the ninth chapter, Krishna is going in more detail now. So this is how we will see the deeper aspect of bhakti yoga, what is explained in uh, seventh chapter, that is in more deeper way understood in the ninth chapter. So let us uh, move ahead. Just a minute. Opening the PowerPoint to show with you. Chapter 7th is most confidential knowledge about Supreme Lord Krishna. This is summary we saw just now. How Ananya Bhakti, the supremacy of Bhakti, and 7th and 9th chapter are almost identical. So chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge, talks about hearing about Krishna, and then about Aishwarya Gyan, about Krishna's Achintya Bhedabhed relationship with the material world. And then those people, although Krishna comes in the material world in the form of Vasudeva and Devaki's son, many people, they don't worship Krishna, and those who worship Krishna also, they are mentioned there. Krishna is the supreme object of the worship, and how the glories uh, of directly worshipping Krishna. One can just directly worship Krishna, small child, is worshipping, and Krishna will take him back home, back to body, to the spiritual world. So that is what's spoken here. So these sections, what we are going to discuss, the first three talks about developing Kevala Bhakti by knowledge about Krishna. So we saw uh, in the chapter 8, uh, when Krishna speaks about Ananya Bhakti, and that Bhakti, how one can develop, that is spoken in the mm, ninth chapter. Okay, anyway. So Kevala Bhakti by developing developing knowledge about Krishna, knowledge about Krishna, that is speaks of spoken in the first three verses, and then 4 to 10 talks about Krishna's inconceivable relationship with material world, how Krishna is connected at the same time not connected also, and how it is out of that, more than that or beyond that. And then the third section talks about uh, those who understand Krishna in various ways. So in that there are Ahangaropasana, Pratikopasana, and Vishwarupa Upasana, that is been spoken in the 15th verse, but also in Kevala Bhakti spoken in 13 and 14 verse, and impersonalist, how they mistake Krishna as a material person, how they don't understand Krishna as a supreme. So that is spoken in how uh, those who understand Krishna in various ways is spoken. And then this last Vishwarupa Upasana is spoken in 16 to 19. And sometimes the acharyas gives a different actually section wise. They divide it different way. Like here, we will be discussing from 20 to 28. Kevala Bhakti is far superior to the demigod worship. And some acharyas, they make 20 to 25 as uh, Vishwarupa, and then Kevala Bhakti, and then demigod worship. Like that, three divisions is made between 16 to 30. And then 29 onwards, Kevala Bhakti elevates one to the most fallen. That is same in the both places. So some places you will see the little difference between one way of sections and there is another way of section, but it is more of a based on the Acharya's commentaries and uh, some way of emphasis, particularly how Lord or the Acharyas want to see that Lord's emphasis is there. So this is what we'll be discussing. That Kevala Bhakti elevates even the most fallen. That will be the last one. Keval Bhakti is far superior to the demigod worship, and then Keval Bhakti is elevate even to the most fallen. So if you see from top to bottom, everything is talked about Kevala Bhakti only. So let us get into the first verse. This time I couldn't get the translation. So if you have translation in your mobile or book, you can read from there, because I'll not be able to give that translation on screen today. Yeah. So this is 9.1. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshami anusuyave Jnana Vijnana Sahitam Yagyatva Moksha Se Shubhat. Yes. Oh, two, three devotees raised the hand and I couldn't see who was the first. First one is Aman Prabhu. So Aman Prabhu can read.
Yes. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of all miseries of the material existence."
Yes. Jnanam Shri Bhagavan Vacha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said. Jnanam tute guhyatamam pravakshyami anusuyave. Hmm. Because that is the second part. uh, because you are non-envious, that is no anusuyave, second part of this line. Because you are never envious of me, hmm, I shall impart to you the most confidential knowledge. Idam tute guhyatamam, most confidential. Hmm. Jnanam vijnana sahitam yagyatva moksha shubhat. Hmm. So I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, jnanam and savijnanam also. And yagyatva, by knowing this, moksha se shubhat, you shall be relieved from all miseries of material existence. So Krishna is telling that this knowledge is such a wonderful knowledge, such a powerful knowledge that I am telling to you only. Why I am telling to you? Because you are non-envious. Because not you are not non-envious, and if you understand this knowledge properly, what I am giving to you, Gyan and Vigyan also, then you will be freed from all the material existence, or miseries of the material existence. So this is amazing thing Krishna is telling about Anusuyave. Hmm. So Anusuyave is means envy. Prabhupada translates Anusuyave means to the non-envious. So envy is the opposite of devotion. So if somebody is having devotion, that means he has a love, he has affection. But somebody is envious means he really hate that person. So here devotion is glorified. And devotion means we glorify Krishna more and more. But if somebody is having that attitude of envy towards Krishna, by seeing Krishna's glory, he will burn in his heart. Hey, why Krishna is so big? Why Krishna is so controlling everything? I cannot control everything, but Krishna is controlling everything. How Krishna can enjoy everything? Why I am not enjoying everything? So this is the envy. So devotion will make feel more glorify Krishna, but envy will make feel why he'll burn himself more. Why Krishna is being so glorified? So it is a kind of a competition he wants to do with Krishna. He feels that Krishna is his competitor. He doesn't understand his position, but he feels that Krishna is my competitor. So actually, why confidential knowledge? Why it has been said a confidential knowledge due to the people who are only non-envious? Is it that partiality? No. Actually, Krishna is concerned about the envious people. Why? If person who is having envy, if he hears more about Krishna, what will happen? His envy will grow more. Hey, ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? ये ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? How it is possible? And therefore, for if he becomes more envious, he will get more against Krishna and he will get more in the uh, wrong path, falling down from his position wherever he is. Therefore, confidential is mentioned to save the anonymous people, not to degrade more down. So this is a very important aspect about Anusuyave. Whereas Arjuna, he was having such a wonderful feeling for the Lord. Uh, he was understanding the Supreme Lord is actually the well-wisher of all. Bhuktaram Yakitapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Surutam Sarvabhutanam Gyatvam Shanti Prachyati. So Krishna knew, Arjuna knew this very well. So further, Krishna is saying, Jnana Vijnana Sahitam. So Jnana Vijnana, we saw this verse comes in the 8th chapter also, sorry, 6th chapter also, where Krishna says, Jnana Vijnana Triptatma, Kutasto Vijitendriya, Yukta iti Uchate Yogi, Samaloshrashma Kanchana. A person is said to be satisfied in self-realization and is called yogi when he is fully satisfied the virtue of acquired knowledge and realization. So jnana means acquired knowledge and vijnana means after getting acquiring knowledge, he get realization also about it. Such person is situated in the transcendent, it is said. So again, here it is also used jnana vijnana triptatma. And jnana, Krishna is saying vijnana sahitam, savijnana. So Prabhupada uh, uh, had begun one magazine through BI that was called as Savigyan. Savigyan means knowledge about Krishna. It's a spiritual knowledge, not just realization. Realization people can have of different thing, but Savigyan means uh, knowledge about Krishna. And Jnana Vijnana Sahitam Yagyatva Mokshesha Shubhat. Mokshesha Shubhat means one will become freed from the miseries of the material existence. So the meaning is this, not that person as soon as take the devotional service, he will not have any problem in his life. Because the process, what he is taking of devotional service, of jnana, vijnana, this process is such that this will eliminate all the problems which are going to come in your life in time to come. Not that everybody has just taken devotional service and every problems are over. No. The process is in such a way that it is preventive. As soon as you take to the process, the sufferings will start reducing only. So just like sometimes doctor give medicine, and after giving medicine, uh, doctor's medicine starts working. He gives the proper doses. You take morning, afternoon, evening, like that. You take proper doses, and then immediately after visiting doctor, problem will not be solved. But if you start taking medicine, then slowly, the problem in his life will start getting more clearer and clearer and clearer. So that is moksha se shubha. So if somebody takes to the process of jnana vijnana sahitam or this guhyatamam jnana, pravaksha guhyatama jnana, then the miseries and problems in his life start reducing less because the process is very powerful, very pure. So here also it is said, jnana vijnana. Generally, we get a jnana, acquired knowledge from the books or from the by hearing from some person, and then vijnana is what realization. That realization will come from within. So, but Krishna is telling here, jnana vijnana sahitam. I will give the knowledge also, and I will give you the vijnana also. How it is possible that Krishna can give vijnana also? Vijnana will come generally by one's own analysis, and then his uh, whatever that analysis transform into his understanding. That is vijnana. But Krishna, meaning vijnana here is uh, he will give the process by which you will get vijnana. That process is bhakti yoga process, the path of devotional service. So Krishna is giving the knowledge about the world around numinous and phenomenal, both world. And Krishna is also giving the process by which one will understand the uh, this vijnana. He'll get the realization. So it is like jnana means like a knowledge about the situation, like doctor. Same example, we are going to doctor. When doctor we go, then he will check your pulse and your temperature, and you will ask the symptoms. That is like a diagnosis. So this diagnosis is like a jnana. He gets the knowledge. But when he gets the knowledge, what he does? He has his own scriptural understanding, or the studies understanding, and from that he comes to the Vijnana. Okay, this person has got this problem, and how it can be removed by giving certain prescriptions. That is Vijnana. So when he gets a prescription, then prescription will be implemented in his life, and slowly he'll be purified in his disease stage. So that is Jnana Savijnanam. Uh, and Krishna is giving both Gyan and Savijnanam. And idam tute guhyatamam. Idam tute matlab Krishna is speaking about the Bhakti Yoga. Hmm? Bhakti Yoga means he talks about ninefold devotional service. Hmm? So we saw what is the qualification. Qualification is to free from envy. That is the qualification is required. And what is the means to receive? Proper hearing. If somebody is hearing, then he will receive that knowledge. And what are the benefits of such process, following this process? Relief from the miserable existence. So Lord Krishna is imparting most confidential knowledge and realization to Arjuna. Raja Vidya. So Prabhupada explains in the purport that second and third chapter is a confidential knowledge because it talks about soul and spirit soul, how the body is there. Until even sixth chapter, more talked about uh, how the soul is uh, entangled in the actions and reactions, and how he'll get self-realization, not just by getting the knowledge about the soul and keep meditating on that. No, but he will have to act with responsibility and with detachment. Then he will slowly come to the understanding about realization in his life. So that is only confidential knowledge. But more confidential knowledge is spoken in the seventh and eighth chapter. That is about Bhakti Yoga. And then most is the ninth chapter, because here the focus is completely on Krishna and Krishna related devotional service. So we just saw how Prabhupada emphasizes on one, if he's one non-envious and properly hears, then he will be free from the all problems of the material world. And one of the caution Prabhupada gives is we should uh, not give attention or hear to the useless commentaries of the high academic scholars. They give inaccurate commentaries because they are envious about Krishna. They want to replace Krishna. They want to become famous like Krishna. And many times they criticize the character of Krishna also without knowing the personality of Krishna. Like some person said, no, that if I feel myself very ashamed to call myself Hindu if Krishna has performed the Rasa Leela. So no, he doesn't have understanding only what is the Rasa Leela and what is the relationship of Krishna and the gopis. So avoid such commentaries and hear from the bona fide commentaries of the acharyas only. Prabhupada very strongly emphasizes that. So what is this idam jnanam? That is ninefold devotional service, as told by Prahlad in the seventh chapter. Shravanam kirtanam Vishnu, smaranam pada sevanam, archanam bandhanam dasyam, sakhyam atmanivedanam. So when one process this idam jnanam, then he will be understand the science of Krishna and elevate to the spiritual life understanding. Yeah. So the two benefits about hearing about Krishna, that is first thing is Lord Krishna, one will be confidential knowledge and realization, both will happen. So one will get confidential knowledge and he will get realization. That is, these are the two things one get. He gets freed from the material miseries, and this potent message will get realization with the Lord help him. Lord within will help him to understand, get realization. So one will get realization and one will be freed from the material problem. E.A.S.Y Haridasya Karmana Manasagira. Even in this condition of state, one can consider to be liberated if one is sincerely engaged in the uh, trying to render loving service to the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada quotes about Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that even in this condition, somebody is practicing this nicely, then he will be freed from it. and Moksha Shubhat. It was spoken in the 10th chapter also. So the next verse now, in this verse about the devotional service, he is describing the different aspects of devotional service, how it is glorious. राजविद्या राजगुह्यं पवित्रमिदमुत्तमं प्रत्यक्षावगमं धर्म्यं सुसुखं कर्तुमव्ययम्. Would like the translation? Devesh Prabhu.
This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting and it is joyfully performed.
Yes. So, Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam, Rajavidya. It's called as uh, king of knowledge, or knowledge of kings, both way, Rajavidya. So if this knowledge, king of education, is the most secret of all, is the Rajaguhyam, very, very confidential. And how it is? Pavitram, idam uttamam, because the purest knowledge, and because it gives a direct perception of the self by realization. Pratyakshaavagamam dharmam. So it gives a direct perception of the self by realization. Dharmyam. It is perfection of religion. And susukham. It is everlasting. Kartu avyayam. Kartum avyayam means everlasting. And kartum means joyfully performed. Joyfully performed, and it is everlasting. It is eternal knowledge. So Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idamuttamam Pratyaksha Avagamam Dharmam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. So king of knowledge means we have different knowledges in our study. We try to understand sociology, we try to understand politics, we try to understand geography. Such kind of different knowledges are there. But among all the knowledges, Krishna says, Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam. I am the spiritual knowledge amongst all knowledge. Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam. The spiritual knowledge is more powerful than the material knowledge, because material knowledge at the best can, what he can do, he can study the different energies, and after understanding the whole energies, how it reacts, how it works, then you manipulate that and you try to do something, just like the the scientists, they have understood how the nuclear neutron, protons, electrons, they are working, and they try to take some energy from that and try to create an atom bomb only. So creating atom bomb can destroy the whole world, but cannot change, but cannot destroy the bad habits or the bad traits and the living. So it is more subtler. You can destroy the gross things, but the subtler aspects always remains there. So that can be changed by the spiritual knowledge. If somebody takes to the process of devotional service, his all qualities get refined and he gets more purified in his life. So therefore called as Rajavidya. And also another aspect, what we understand about knowledge of kings, because this knowledge was given to the kings. Generally, knowledge is the property of Brahmanas. Brahmanas, they, by studying the scripture, by practicing and controlling their senses and mind, they cultivate the knowledge. But then they just don't keep to themselves. They're supposed to give to the Kshatriyas, so that they can implement that knowledge. Therefore, this knowledge is meant for kings. They will implement that knowledge in the whole society, so that society in general will get full benefited. So there is no monopoly, but it's like a distribution of knowledge, and distribution of knowledge, so that properly every living entity can understand the goal of life and can go back to Godhead. So therefore it's called as Rajavidya. And then second is called as Rajaguhyam. Why it is called as Guhyam? Why it is most confidential? Most confidential because people in general don't know about the soul only. They think I am this body and this is the reality. पता नहीं आत्मा है नहीं है. Who knows? Who have seen it? People just talk about it. So most of the people are in the bodily concept of life. They don't know the knowledge about soul. But when they come to the knowledge about the soul, then they start understanding, okay, how soul got entangled in the body. Then actions, reaction, they understand. And then they understand that when they start to study Bhagavad Gita, as we discussed before, they will slowly uh, try to come to self-realization, not just by just thinking about I am body, I am body, I am not body, I am soul, I am not body, I am not soul, but they will try to practice it in their life by taking some responsible services and doing those services in detached way. Like that, they will come to the higher understanding. So if you see these all aspects, they are focused on soul and trying to get him to the understanding level of self-realization. So focus is soul. But this second section, which talks from 7th chapter onwards, the focus is Krishna here. What is Krishna? Who is Krishna? How Krishna can be pleased? What is my relationship with Krishna? How can I practice certain processes by which Krishna can be pleased? So focus is shifted from soul to the super soul or the supreme lord here. Therefore, it is called as Rajaguisha. So the 9th chapter completely speaks about not only the supreme lord and his supremacy, but that supreme lord is rendered service by called as devotional service bhakti yoga, and by that Krishna can be more happy, more pleased, and this is even more powerful. Bhakti yoga is more powerful. So that is discussed about Raj Guhya. And then called as Pavitram. I didn't move the slides. Slides also shows Raj Vidya and Raj Guhya. Essence of all the doctrines and philosophies explained before. Gautama, Kanada, Kapila, Yajnavalkya, Shandilya, Vaishna, Vaishwanara. And finally, there is a Vyasdev, another author of the Vedanta Sutra, who gave commentary on Vedanta Sutra. It is Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. So therefore, Raja Vidya. And Raja Guhya is, this talks about the eternal activities of the soul. Not only just the knowing about the soul and details about the soul, but the soul's eternal activities, what he does not. Soul is always active and he will need some engagement. So if he doesn't have proper understanding, then he develops a misconception about impersonalism or voidism. So therefore, it is very important to make him understand his knowledge about the soul properly and its real activity. So Prabhupada condemns the modern education system deals only with the external knowledge, bodily platform, Rajavidya, Rajaguhya. And that is Pavitram. Pavitram means is free from all the contaminations. So Pavitram idam uttamam, purest from all activities. So sinful reactions has 4 stages, as discussed in this stage of reaction. This comes in Purana, Padma Purana. It tells that how those who are engaged in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all sinful reactions, whether fructified in the stalk or in the form of seed, gradually vanishes. So, because of ignorance, person is having this sinful desire, and when sinful desire is there, then person does the papa. So, papa means sinful actions, what he does. But there are also, because of sinful action, there are some aprarabdha that is not yet come to him. So what is prarabdha? What is aprarabdha? Prarabdha means whatever reactions we have received in our life. Somebody may have a lot of money, somebody have very less money, somebody very handsome, somebody may not be so handsome, somebody may have very good paying job, somebody may not have good paying job. So that also comes because of this is prarabdha. And what is aprarabdha? Maybe those who don't have very good job will be going to have very powerful career in time to come, or he has very powerful knowledge in time to come. So that is aprarabdha is going to come further. So sometimes we see the person and we try to feel that what this person can do. But in time to come, we see he shows very different colors in his life. A powerful personality emerges like that. So that is a prarabdha, and that is going to come. And prarabdha is manifested. And because of this uh, sinful actions and prarabdha, he also remains sinful disposition in his life. That is kutam. So all these things will be discussed more in detail when we'll talk about Bhakti Shastri NOD. But his sinful reactions are a four stage, and a pavitra means implies all four stages can be purified. Bhakti yoga is so powerful that not only the prarabdha karma gets purified, but our prarabdha also get purified, and the position, the kutam also get purified, and the sinful actions also get purified. Everything, all four stages get purified. Devotional service is never contaminated by the modes. Therefore, devotional service is transcendental. So there is pavitram idam uttamam. And that's called as pratyakshaavagamam dharmam. Pratyakshaavagamam, direct perception of self by realization. So how to get it? Direct perception of the self by practicing devotional service in association of advanced devotees. That is very important. When we are in touch with advanced devotees, when we are reading Srila Prabhupada books, we are getting advanced because we are directly associating with Prabhupada. When we are hearing Guru Maharaj's wonderful realizations of different our acharyas, Vartaman acharyas, then we are advancing with devotees. Therefore, Shravanam from the senior Vaishnava is very important, and association with the senior Vaishnava is very important to get Pratyaksha Avagamam. So, if somebody is chanting, Prabhupada says Hare Krishna Mahamantra without offense, one feels transcendental pleasure and gets purified. That is the process. How Pratyaksha Avagamam Dharmam. Person very disturbed but comes in devotional service with associate with devotees, and then he becomes very happy, blissful. And then he start helping in mission also. That is example. So Prabhupada gives example. Advancement is irrespective of the previous education or qualification. So whatever is his condition and situation, but he has taken to the bhakti, he will advance very nice. Simply by engaging, one becomes enlightened irrespective of the any qualification he has. Prabhupada quotes about Narada Muni. Uchistalo Pavanumodu Doduje, that aspect he speaks about. So this also means Pratyakshavagam is, it gives also purification, but also pleasure also gives. Person is very happy, joyfully performs it. So somebody has to be completely engaged in bhakti, then only he will experience. Pratyaksha avagamam matlabs, he has to keep engaged. Not that he has just begun devotional service, now he thinks that everything will be all right in my life. No. He has to keep practicing it. If he is practicing, then he will be experiencing that realization, sakshatkar. But if he is not practicing, then he will not get any experience. Somebody is put mute. Haribol. Devotees can put mute themselves properly. Yes. So this is directly experienced. So people generally, when they experience suffering in their life, and they don't read scriptures, that why the suffering are coming in my life, then they oftentimes go to the three conclusion that, oh, God is negligent, he is not caring for us, no, he has just thrown us in the dungeon to suffer. Or sometimes person may also develop understanding that Lord is only causing suffering to me, malevolent guy, and his intention is causing. Or third one is person may feel that God doesn't exist only. भगवान नाम को कोई चीज होता ही नहीं है, ये तो सफरिंग क्यों आता था. So because they are not in knowledge, they don't read scripture, therefore they come to such conclusions. Either they think that, oh, God is not caring for us, God is negligent about us, or they will think that God is God himself only is causing suffering. He is very malevolent towards a living entity. he is sadistic, he takes pleasure in suffering the people, or he will say, अरे भगवान नाम को कोई चीज होता नहीं है. So all such situation comes because they are not reading scriptures, they are not in touch with the advanced devotees, Vaishnavas, and therefore they think in this direction. So one will get realization in his life when he will harmonize his pratyaksha along with the Shabda Praman. So whatever he is experiencing in his life, he sees and heard from the scriptures or the senior Vaishnavas, and then he relates. Then he gets realization. हाँ बराबर बोला, एकदम सही बोला, ऐसा ही होता है. No, that conviction can comes in his life. So somebody, when he faces the challenges in his life, then Krishna will give him some intelligence. And that intelligence will be what? He will use, take help from some devotee or read scriptures, and then whatever experience came in his life, he will relate with that and he will understand, yes, actually, by Krishna's mercy, after reading scriptures, I am able to understand why the problems are coming in my life. Sometimes some people say, Are, that person, he got some problem in his life, cancer came or some weird brain tumor came or some big operation came, and he became very serious in devotional service. No, the diseases don't make person serious in devotional service. Bhakti is a cause of bhakti, not any other diseases are the cause of bhakti. Bhakti is a cause of bhakti, but these diseases can become impetus. But diseases can become impetus for one to take to the process. And one don't have to pray that give me some problems in life, then only I'll become a more serious devotee. No, one can take responsibility. One can keep himself a little stretched while doing sadhana and render more service for uh, carrying out this missionary activities. When somebody is in a stretched zone, then he will get a lot of realizations because he is getting a lot of experiences and he is also regularly reading and hearing, and then that will give pratyaksha, and Shabda will have harmonization. He'll get more realizations like that. So one should not be in a panic zone. There is too much activity, but he is not reading and hearing only at all. And somebody should not be very comfortable. बस खाओ पियो, थोड़ा पढ़ लिया पढ़ो, कोई सेवा मत करो. Not that. So that is not pratyaksha avagaman dharma. And then called as susukham kartum avyayam. Susukham is joyfully performed. Susukham. So one thing we saw is about dharmam, perfection of the all religion. Prabhupada mentions in the Bhagavatam that highest goal of religion is devotional service. Save pumsa paro dharmo yatho bhakti radokshate ahaytuki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. And how is this devotional service? Very powerful. Without performing regular religious processes, one can be raised to the highest perfection. Just by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and rendering service, one can raise himself to the highest standard. How? Simply by association with the great acharyas. Again gives the example of Narada Muni. Previous also, we saw the Narada Muni, how he was susukham kartum avya. Sorry, what was that? Pavitra midam uttamam. So, in Narada Muni's life, Narada Muni had heard from the Bhakti Vedantas. And in his life, a situation came. Mother was the only shelter for him. And in aparadharma. So generally, when somebody's aparadharma creates a very disastrous situation in his life, he becomes adharmic in his life. But somebody who is associated with the devotees or somebody who's reading scriptures regularly, he will not take to the path of adharma, but he will take the path of parodharma, like Narada Muni. Narada Muni, when he was faced with a certain challenges in his life, then what was that challenge? He was the only son actually. And he had only shelter, that is mother. Mother was taking care of him, small child, 4 5 year old boy. But when mother left, mother died, he saw it as the will of providence. And he remembered the instructions given by those Bhakti Vedantas. And then he felt himself very confident and he started walking towards the north. So this is how uh, if somebody practices dharma, that is reaches the perfection. The son of maid servant became such a great personality as Narada. So that is dharmam. And susukham, blissful. This is positive engagement for the senses. Simply one perform the simple to perform example, hearing, chanting, and prasadam. So there is very simple process. Khao, pio, nacho. These are the three basic things. Khao, gao, और नाचो. प्रसाद खाओ, कीर्तन करो और नाचो. So just by simply testing the tulsi leaves, the Sanat Kumar became the devotee of the Lord. From impersonalist to they became personalist. And Krishna becomes very happy if simply by love somebody gives to Krishna patram pushpam phalam toyam, he becomes blissful, he becomes very happy. And yeah, Prabhupada also quotes Vedant Sutra, Prakashascha Karmanya Abhyasat. Devotional service is so potent that simply by engaging in the activities of devotional service, one becomes enlightened without doubt. So that is the power of devotional service. Simply by coming in touch with the devotees, other scriptures, a person gets free from the all contaminated and he becomes joyfully performing and eternally eternally and everlasting, avyayam, susukam, kartum avyayam. So generally, people have understanding, those who are particularly Mayavad kind of understanding, that okay, we practice bhakti so that we reach the some place and then we through the process we just become God. But after practicing bhakti, one develops relationship with Krishna, that relationship is not for some time, it's for eternity. And when one gets completely liberated from the material bondage, then his devotional service start. And it continues forever throughout his life. Only by devotional service, one can understand Supreme Personality of Godhead. So therefore, it is susukham kartum avyayam. Like this, we try to understand the different aspects. And then the third verse will speak about another qualification required to understand Krishna is Shraddha. That we'll see tomorrow. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any question? Nothing, everything is clear. Devotees are blissfully practicing
Krishna,
bhakti.
Prabhuji.
Okay, Mayank Pandit Prabhu.
Prabhuji, this knowledge, this in 9th chapter is the most confidential knowledge we are reading. So why there are so many, so much fight between Shaivite people and followers of Vishnu? Then this Shaivite people should also read Bhagavad Gita and understand that this is also the highest knowledge.
Yes. So there are two things again. Krishna says, Pravakshami Anusujave. So if somebody is non-envious, then he will be able to understand devotional service. So actually religion is not a problem, but the neophyte practitioners of the religion create a problem for the society. So Shaivite also is good. The best Shaivite becomes Vaishnava only. And there is no ambiguity in that. But when the egoistic Shaivite or egoistic Vaishnava who are not purified enough, they start thinking that we are best. They create a problem for the society actually. Not the Vaishnavas and the Shaivas. They both are pure platform. But people who identify with that upadhi and think that they are best, that creates a big problem. Okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So I understand there are no much questions now today. Okay, Hiranmani Taipu.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। प्रभु जी, भगवान इसमें बोलते हैं कि ये एनवीएस पर्सन के लिए नॉलेज नहीं है। लेकिन प्रभु जी अगर देखा जाए तो जनरली तो एनवीएस पर्सन नास्तिक बोलते हैं, नास्तिक। लेकिन बाकी सब लोग समझने के लिए रेडी रहते हैं या फिर वो प्रयास करते हैं भक्ति के लिए। तो अलग अलग इतनी सारी संप्रदाय फिर क्यों है प्रभु जी?
अलग अलग संप्रदाय इसलिए हैं क्योंकि अलग अलग आचार्यों ने भगवान के साथ में अपना अलग अलग संबंध है, और वो संबंधों को स्थापित करने के लिए अलग अलग। कृष्णा इज नॉट मोनो मोनो अंडरस्टैंडिंग, नो। हाँ, एक ऐसा ही अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं है। कृष्णा तो वैरायटी है। लाइक डायमंड होता है ना, तो डायमंड हैज लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंट डिफरेंट कलर्स। एक्चुअली डायमंड इज कलरलेस, बट द वे रिफ्लेक्शन कम्स, द लाइट कम्स ऑन इट, इट शाइन्स इन दैट वे। कभी ब्लू लगेगा, कभी ब्लैक लगेगा, कभी रेड लगेगा, कभी ग्रीन लगेगा। So supreme, similarly, Supreme Lord Krishna is all multifarious personality. That the angle you see, you will get understanding like that. जैसे आप देखोगे वैसे आपको भगवान का अंडरस्टैंडिंग आएगा। इसलिए ब्रह्मेति परमात्मेति भगवानिति शब्दति, भागवतम बताता है। तो अपने अपने साक्षात्कार के आधार पर उनको वो साक्षात और भगवान का साक्षात्कार होता है। तो इसीलिए भगवान भी सबको फ्रीडम देते हैं कि चलो ठीक है, आप मुझे ब्रह्मन स्तर पर समझना चाहते हो, मुझे आप परमात्मा स्तर पर समझना चाहते हो, आप मुझे भगवान स्तर पर समझना चाहते हो, या उसकी इन बिटवीन कोई बहुत सारी अलग अलग स्थितियां हैं, उसको समझना चाहते हो, उसका मिस इंटरप्रिटेशन करना चाहते हो, नो प्रॉब्लम, मिस इंटरप्रेट करो। सो लॉर्ड इज वेरी वेरी कंपैशनेट. लॉर्ड गिव्स understanding to everybody, and acharyas gives this different different understanding based on their sakshatkar with the Lord has different rasas. वो अलग अलग रसों में भगवान उनके साथ में आदान प्रदान करते हैं, एंड देयरफॉर डिफरेंट संप्रदाय है। तो अलग अलग संप्रदाय है, इसका मतलब क्या है, कितने वैरायटी प्रकार के लोग भगवान को प्रेम करते हैं। लेकिन उस वैरायटी प्रकार के संप्रदाय में जो आ, आ, कनिष्ठ स्तर के उपासक होते हैं, दे क्रिएट मोर प्रॉब्लम। ओके, हिरण में नेता
थैंक यू प्रभु जी। एक छोटा सा और क्वेश्चन था प्रभु जी। ये जो एनवीएस बात आ रहा है प्रभु जी, तो ये एनवीएस कैसे उत्पन्न होता है प्रभु जी, किसी भी पर्सन के प्रति या भगवान के प्रति? एनवीएसनेस कैसे आता है?
enviousness comes desire to enjoy separately from the Lord. जीवात्मा एंजॉय तो करता है भगवान के साथ में, बट when he develops इच्छा द्वेष समुत्थेन द्वंद्व मोहेन भारतम, तो when it starts feeling that why Krishna only is enjoying, I should also enjoy, I should enjoy separately from Krishna now. So when he develops that desire, I want to enjoy separately from Krishna, that is the beginning of our material life, or fall down or envy towards the Lord. In the beginning, he'll start comparing. Why he'll compare? Because he'll come in ignorance. He thinks that मैं भी विष्णु दूत हूँ, मैं तो भगवान जैसा ही हूँ, भगवान और मैं तो एकदम समान हूँ, सेम ड्रेस, सेम कलर, सेम नोज, सेम ब्यूटी। सो व्हाट इज डिफरेंस बिटवीन मी एंड लॉर्ड? कौस्तुभ मणि उनके पास में, और वो ब्रह्मांड नायक है, हम उनके दास है। सो व्हेन यू फॉरगेट दैट पोजीशन, देन वी बिकम एनवियस ऑफ द लॉर्ड। ओके,
यस प्रभु जी, थोड़ा छोटा सा और इसी को क्लियर करना है। follow up question
इसी
है।
को क्लियर करना है, लगता है पूरा एकदम क्लियर करके छोड़ेंगे आज।
नहीं प्रभु जी, जैसे कि हम सुनते हैं कि हमारे अंदर सारे गुण हैं जो जो भगवान में है। तो
यस,
जैसे एनवीएस वाला पार्ट है प्रभु जी, तो क्या भगवान के अंदर ऐसा है क्या कुछ प्रभु जी?
भगवान के अंदर एनवी नहीं है। भगवान कृष्ण सूर्य सम माया होए अंधकार, तो जहां कृष्ण नहीं होता है वहां माया ऑटोमेटिक आ जाती है। अगर हम सूर्य को देखेंगे तो हमको अंधकार दिखाई पड़ेगा,
नहीं प्रभु जी।
लेकिन सूर्य से अगर मुड़ जाएंगे तो हमको छाया दिखाई पड़ेगी, अंधकार दिखाई पड़ेगा हमें। तो सिमिलरली कृष्णा डजंट हैव एनीथिंग, लेकिन कृष्ण से जैसे हम पलट जाते हैं तो फिर द्वंद्व की दुनिया शुरू होती है हमारे लिए। तो कृष्ण में द्वेष नहीं है, लेकिन जब से कृष्ण से पलट जब जाते हैं, कृष्ण में केवल प्रेम है। लेकिन प्रेम का उल्टा रूप क्या है? द्वेष है। तो कृष्ण से हम जब प्रेम करते रहते हैं, जब उल्टे हो जाते हैं, तो फिर कृष्ण से हम दूसरा द्वेष भी दिखाई पड़ते हैं। ओके,
थैंक यू प्रभु।
संदीप प्रभु।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, understand.
प्रणाम।
But we see that Ravana was a very envious to Lord Ram, but still
हाँ,
he was doing devotional service to Lord Shiva. Which type of devotional service you are talking about here?
ओके। Ravana was, see, regarding Ravana, to devotional service I cannot say is a part of a Leela. But let us take that same understanding that somebody is practicing devotional service but having so much of lust. He want to not only enjoy the Lord's consort, Mother Sita, but he also want to exploit all the resources which Lord has. He want to control the whole creation. So that is a lust. Kama esha, krodha esha, rajoguna samudbhava. So when people are practicing devotional service, he may be practicing pure devotional service. So in a sadhaka's life, when he's practicing pure devotional service, not that there are obstacles of lust will not come. It can come. And somebody is for developing jnana, or somebody is developing for karma, then it becomes karma mishra or jnana mishra bhakti. Okay. So in case of Ravana, it's a part of Leela. We cannot comment on it. I have neither have heard which bhakti he was practicing. He was more of a follower of Lord Shiva, and we understand those who are the followers of Lord demigods. Uh, they have they are demigod worshippers. They don't come in the path of devotional service.
We, we know that Lord Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava, most.
Yes.
Then why he not gave the realization of doing worshipping of
Yes.
Lord Vishnu to Ravan?
So Lord Shiva is a very very merciful and compassionate Lord. So Lord Shiva sees who is coming to me with what motive. So he is such a bhola person, इसलिए उनको भोले बोलते हैं. So he is so innocent. The Vrakasur came with understanding. So he gave benediction to him. Ravana came, he gave benediction to him. So similarly, if pure devotees go to Vishnu, or not pure devotee, a pure person without any desire to enjoy, but he doesn't know anybody whom to worship, let us start worshipping Shiva. You start worshipping Shiva with a one desire, शिव जी मैं आपको प्रसन्न करना चाहता हूँ. Just like Sanatan Goswami tells this wonderful story. There was a Brahman and he worshipped Lord Shiva. And then he said, I want the greatest benediction. He said, okay, go and take from Sanatan Goswami. He was having that Chintamani. Parasmani, Chintamani, Parasmani. And then like that, Shiva will direct. If somebody is coming for without any ulterior desires and motives, heart is innocent, pure, then he will make him devotee. But those who are having some bad desires in their hearts, he will direct them to other direction. Okay? Mohit Prabhu?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु, प्रणाम।
Pranam.
Prabhuji, you mentioned that this society में प्रॉब्लम होता है न्यूफाइड डिवोटीज की वजह से, वैष्णव
Right.
आदर्श सेवाइट की वजह से। तो इसी में मेरा प्रश्न था प्रभु जी कि हमारे केस में भी ऐसा ही होता है, बिकॉज एट द सेम टाइम वी हैव टू कीप आवर लॉयल्टी विथ प्रभुपाद, एंड वी नो ऑल्सो दैट प्रभुपाद इज लाइक कलयुग आचार्य, वो उनका ही सब कुछ सही है। लेकिन जैसे बहुत सारे अभी आजकल वीडियो चलते हैं ये प्रेमानंद महाराज के, और इनमें डिवोटीज भी इन्वॉल्व होते हैं, कभी कभी डिवोटीज भी देखने लग जाते हैं। तो हमको कैसे प्रेजेंट करना है प्रभुपाद जी को ताकि एक्सट्रीजम भी ना लगे, मतलब ऐसा कि हमारे प्रभुपाद ही सही है, और सामने वाले को बता भी दे कि प्रभुपाद जी का पढ़ने से ही उद्धार हो सकता है।
For that, we have to read ourselves Prabhupada books first. We have to read about Prabhupada disciples' books about Prabhupada first. That will give understanding what level of transformation Prabhupada brought. See, in today's world, somebody is speaking. Today is the age of transformation and information. Information more. People can speak, collect the things and speak here and there. But Prabhupada in 1960s, he took devotional service all over the world. And all the saintly persons, Vaishnavas, they will glorify Srila Prabhupada. Those who are genuine Vaishnavas. So first of all, we have to read Prabhupada books and understand how Prabhupada is wonderful personality. And whenever we hear about other Vaishnavas, we also should not become envious. Now, take some Maharaj is there, Vrindavan, he is good Maharaj. He may not be completely focusing on certain aspect which we are focusing. So we have to understand and appreciate, हाँ अच्छे महाराज है, उनको फॉलोअर मिल रहे, तो फॉलोअर मिलना है कि भक्ति का सर्टिफिकेट नहीं है कि बहुत बड़ी भक्ति है. Followers are one of the obstacles for the devotee in the path of devotional service. But today's unfortunate world, the जमाना likes का है, जिसका likes ज़्यादा आ जाता है, he becomes like a great person. So that becomes a misunderstanding. That is first of all misunderstanding and miscalculation of a person from his point of view. So he is going in different direction. So therefore, those who will read, they will understand that yeah, what is right, what is wrong, and then by observing by actually understanding the process of devotional service, how one should have gratitude, love, and surrender toward the Guru, person will naturally feel that okay, other people may be good, but my Guru is specially good. Prabhupada disciple says that there are so many people who came to the West uh, to give bhakti or to give the spiritual knowledge. But Prabhupada was the best one amongst, because Prabhupada cared for them, concerned for them, and brought them from the lower level to the level of devotional service. So we have to be little mature. We should take little guidance from some senior mature devotees that how to differentiate between these aspects of fame, of the some sweet talk, pleasing talk of a person, and bhakti. These are two different things. There are many motivational speakers who are very famous also, who speak very pleasing also. So we don't do more motivational speaker. We want to be a devotional speaker. So these different aspects we need to consider, and after all understand, if somebody has become famous, that is also Krishna's vibhuti only. Krishna is empowering him for certain reasons. Just like in Kali Yuga, many religion will sprout up, just so that the real devotional service can get screened out properly. Those are real devotional followers, they'll get screened out properly. Okay, Mohit Prabhu, we'll take Pranjal Prabhu and here Praveen Prabhu, and then we'll end.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Pranjal Prabhu.
Prabhuji, my question is, after going to Goloka, soul becomes again envy towards Krishna or not?
No.
Okay.
Freedom is there, but Prabhupada says once you go back to home, he will have good enough experience of this material world. And if he is sincere, Krishna in his heart will give him proper understanding. And then he will not come back to the material world. Yad gatva na nivartante tad dham paramam mama. भगवान ने बोला है ना, एक बार जो जाता है तो वापस नहीं आएगा. So there are different philosophies spoken about this, but we don't have to go sidetrack because Prabhupada never went here and there. Prabhupada fully believed. Krishna said, then we'll go. So we should also believe and go. If you have faith like what Prabhupada said, then we'll be saved. Otherwise, people are interpreting here and there, and they may have their own interpretations. Let them interpret. Good. They're trying to understand the other aspect. But we should be focused on what Prabhupada said, because Prabhupada is a pure devotee. He is perfected being. He has made so much wonderful process to practice devotional service, and we are fortunate to have it in our life. Okay, bro?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay, and here is a Prabhu has sent one. It said that developing Kevala Bhakti by knowledge. I have listened to the Bhakti is Pareto Jnana and Karma. Is Jnana is different from this Jnana, or what is Jnana Kanda? Yes, this Jnana is completely different. This is transcendental Jnana, transcendental knowledge. This is not a knowledge. Why it is transcendental knowledge? The previous knowledge, what were spoken, Jnana means material knowledge and the knowledge of soul. without connection with Krishna. But here, the knowledge is directly related to Krishna. Therefore, it is transcendental knowledge. So, by developing Kevala Bhakti, by knowing the knowledge about the Supreme, that is transcendental knowledge. Okay. So, we stop here for today.